Yeah, I just want to share some thoughts. Peace to my social media family, YouTube family, everybody. Blood family, Krishna family. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. Okay, I already made a video about the Bhagavad Gita a couple of years ago. Maybe I touched on the Mahabharat. But a lot of people on social media are looking at Nephilims and fallen angels and the story of Enoch and all of that. And I just want to say, right, whenever you're dealing with Anunnaki or anything with a line of beings who come from different galaxies, maybe you saw Prometheus, the movie, and you saw that humanity has an ancestry that comes from another planet. Well, all of that has some truth to it. If you look into the Vedic literature, specifically Srimad Bhagavatam, also known as Bhagavat Purana, does speak about a race, a species of beings called Prajapati. And what's interesting about these Prajapatis is that they are the sons of, Daksha. Now, what's interesting about Daksha, D-A-K-S-H-A, he's the father-in-law of Lord Shiva. He apparently was very offensive to Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva was married to Daksha's daughter. Now, Daksha, what was interesting was that Lord Shiva cut his head off and replaced it with a goat's head. After he replaced it with the goat's head, Daksha became the father of the human race. Fast forward over to ancient Egypt. Who is the creator of the human species? Someone named Khnum, K-H-N-U-M. Look it up. Khnum fashioned man on a potter's wheel out of clay. Khnum, a ram-headed deity. So again, whether you go to India or Africa, you're getting different pieces of the same story. I like the Srimad Bhagavatam because it goes into intricate, minute details. So whenever you see ancient stories being posited as fabrications, all you got to do is go to the ancient Sanskrit literature and it will minutely give you the information. For example, we know about Anunnaki already. We know about Nephilim from the Bible and fallen beings and hybrid angel men. But we had a great war on this planet 5,000 years ago, 3100 BCE. Look it up. In ancient Egypt, they call it the battle for unification between Upper and Lower Kemet. And in India, they called it the Battle of Kurukshetra, the Mahabharata War. And this Mahabharata War featured many beings who were half human and half angelic being, half Elohim, half Asura, half demigod. A lot of them. You had a lot of crossover Asuras in this war. Asura, for lack of a better word, is a demon. All right, but when you're using terms like demons, devatas and asuras, or demigods and demons in the ancient Sanskrit language and in their culture, it's not as clear cut as we have it in the West, like good versus evil. You had a lot of crossover demons that fought on behalf of Arjuna, and therefore they were on Krishna's side, right? But in that battle, Krishna promised not to fight, but out of love for his devotee, he broke his promise and got involved in that fight and almost slaughtered Bhima Dev. Not Bhim, Bhishma Dev. I get those two names mixed up. He almost killed Bhishma with a wheel, but Arjuna stopped him at the last minute and said, nope, God, you promised you wouldn't fight in this war. Because Krishna is smart, and Krishna being God, whoever approaches him for help, whether divine or demoniac, he's going to hear them out and help them out. So in that war, he was related to both the Kauravas and the Pandavas. So he said, you know what? I'm not going to fight in this war, but whoever wants my armies and my military might, they can have that. And whoever wants me as an advisor, they can have me. So, of course, the materialistic ones, the Kauravas, they snapped and jumped at the opportunity to grab up Krishna's armies and soldiers and all of that, fine. And Krishna became the chariot driver in this great war for Arjuna. Can you imagine God playing the role of a servant? But he does it all the time. So if you want precise information on the story of the Prajapatis, the beings who went through the universe, what's interesting about the Prajapatis, where I lost the thought, was that they don't give birth just to human or humanoid species. Krishna tells you in the Bhagavad Gita how many humanoid species there are in this universe, numbering 400,000 species of universe. So when these scientists dig up these different bones of half ape men or half winged men or half monkey men or half reptile men, don't just assume that these are our ancestors, all right? First of all, respectfully to my European brothers, you are the youngest race on the planet Earth. Therefore, just like in a family, you don't have the youngest child teaching the oldest brother and sister the way to go, unless that child is a prodigy, divinely inspired, or an empowered messianic type figure. If you're just a regular human, ain't no way the little baby brother's going to be bossing around the older brothers and sisters. But that's the phenomenon we have here today in current world. The European race is the most recent race to the surface of the planet of Earth, according to science and DNA, for those of you who believe in that stuff. I mean, you know, y'all don't believe in DNA when it's there's a lot of people on the internet who don't believe in the DNA that tells you that you're African. They'd rather be Native American. That's fine. You could be what you want. You could be a banana. You could be a mom, or you could be a birthing person. You could be all of those terms, but you are what you are, and your DNA will tell you what you are. So for those of you who do accept DNA, the European Caucasian body has only been on Earth since the end of the Younger Dryas period, which is about 12,900 years ago, when there was great cataclysms on the Earth because something came from the sky and crashed into the Earth, created the bays in North Carolina, broke a dam over at the Hudson Bay. The Mississippi River came down at thousands of miles per hour, 100 miles wide, destroying civilizations from Canada all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, where there is a Gulf of Mexico today. It was entire cities and countries. So you got to understand that everything changed overnight when the European got to this planet, or I don't know how he got here, bro. I just know something hit the planet at the end of the Younger Dryas period. The next thing you know, you had white men running around on the planet. So respectfully, I think that I would rather take my lessons from the oldest people on the earth, the Africans and the Asians, than to take it from the youngest people on the earth. Now, if the youngest people on the earth meant well, if they would speak truth, if they would not try to conceal truth, then I would respect them for their brilliant mind powers, because they have good, strong minds. But a good, strong mind ain't nothing if it's not properly guided by the intelligence, and skipping the false ego if it's not properly guided by the soul. And that's what we have a problem with when it comes to our European brothers. Unfortunately, they manipulate things. Look at your boy Ron DeSantis. He don't want you to learn about aspects of history that makes him uncomfortable. But guess what? It happened. And the effects is here every day. Okay? But back to the original subject. If you want knowledge, go to the oldest people on earth. The Africans, the Asians, the Indians. Don't take it from the youngest people on earth until they learn how to humble themselves out and submit. So yes, if you want information on Nephilim and half human species and all of that stuff, it's all there in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavat Purana. Just check it out. And with that, I'd like to say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.